Hey Ravens, welcome to another edition of Tarot Tuesday. Today is September 3rd, 2019. Before we get started, I do want to give a shout out to Beth and Nick, my first two patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support. I super appreciate it. It's that lets me do this for everybody. If you want to join them, you can find me at 9 Nights Wisdom on Patreon. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, so check those out. In addition, if you're interested, I also do a monthly astrology newsletter called the Night Sky Newsletter. For more information about that, you can also head over to Patreon. You'll figure stuff out about it there. In the meantime, let's talk about today because a big thing is going on today. All of this is going to happen in the sign of Virgo. And in the Celestial Tarot, which is the one that I use for all these draws, Virgo is represented by the Hermit, indicating introspection to a degree, but more that the inner world either needs to be or is being fortified. Something is being prepared for. The Hermit withdraws from the world in order to gain knowledge. That's really what we're after as the Hermit, is to grow and to change. So what's the aspect? Well, we've got Mercury doing quite a bit of moving today. As Mercury will perfect its conjunctions, Mercury the Magician will perfect its conjunction first to Mars as the Tower, and then to the Sun. So today is a day where some great development in your inner world is forced to show its value to you. And what I mean by that is that we've got the Tower present here, and the Tower is always an agent of great structural, foundational upheaval. It's shorthand. The Tower is the tower struck by lightning. In the case of Mars, it's the sword of Mars that does the striking, but nonetheless, with the Magician in Virgo, with Mercury in Virgo, the Magician in the Hermit, what you're being asked to remember is that you have what you need to deal with these changes inside of you already. It's there. The fortitude, the courage, the wisdom, the strength, the bravery. Whatever it is that you need, you will find it within yourself. And that if you can endure the trial, you come out the better for it. With the Sun. Holding this up on the wrong side. The Sun. So, there is at once a great change to be faced, and as a result of that change, a great reward to be reaped. You just need to go through all the way with this thing that, again, because of the Hermit, has been in motion for some time. Never forget that Virgo is a mutable earth sign. It may move sluggishly, but it moves. The speed of Mercury helps here. So, what is the nature of the trial you're enduring, and or of the reward that you'll be reaping? We'll begin with Virgo, playing host to both of these aspects in its waning days. Cards don't usually jump out at me when I'm doing this reading for you. Let's see what this is. The Moon. Curious. Do take care with this card, with the Moon. I'm going to pull it out. With the Moon, do take care with this not to delude yourself It is easy in the dark to see shadows that aren't there. And remember that this too will change and pass. As good or as bad as this is going to be to you, it too is it's no more set in stone than the events which set it in motion. What else is there to be said for everybody about what's happening here? So we'll begin with Virgo, as is the custom, to begin with the sun sign. The Son of Wands. Some grand blooming, what's the dandelion stalk that the snake is climbing? Something this is for you, it's very nascent, Virgo, which is to be expected given that these things are taking place in your sun sign with the sun in your sign. For you, this is the very beginning of something that will spread like wildfire. This thing that you're doing, this change that you're facing, what comes out of it is going to grow to a size that you cannot imagine. And this has both its good and its bad effects. Because there may be times when you have to curb what the results of this, because it's growing someplace it shouldn't. It's spreading too far. It's going somewhere too quickly. But you are at the very beginning of something that will not only spread virulently, but fill your world with color. You're coming into lots of energy to pursue. This is a very, very good thing for you. However bad the Tower's presence may make it seem, Virgo, this is a very, very good thing for you. And and at least a very good week to begin with, if not the first of many good weeks for you. For Libra, we have the Two of Cups. It seems that for you, Libra, this will strike close to the heart. Some emotional or intimate connection is going to not necessarily fall away. This doesn't need to be a thing where, like, it's not a thing where one breaks in favor of another, but something about it may break in favor of some better outcome or way of being for the relationship that this applies to. I think I spend more time playing with this thing than I do actually looking at these cards sometimes. But for you, Libra, it's very much matters of the heart are what are in play here. So be gentle with yourself. Remember, like I said before, that this is one of those things where, eventually this too shall pass. It will get better if it's bad. It will get better if it's good. It will also get worse if it's either of those things, such as the nature of life. Scorpio, the Seven of Cups. You are presented with multiple options at this juncture, Scorpio. There are numerous potential ways in which this influence can make itself manifest. You have invited a lot of change into your world as of late. And it may be difficult with to feel as though you can direct Mercury's energy here. To which I would counsel you that, like, this is where the presence of Virgo in this spread and in this aspect indicates again that this is something you were already working on to begin with. You were already putting this labor in and you knew it. So this is just, you're reaping the results of all the work you've put in. The thing is just that you've been spreading that work out over a bunch of different arenas, and very quickly now is coming the time where you need to pick one or a few of them and really put some focus in it. But the good results that you're seeing over all of these are making it tough to focus. It's kind of a good problem to have. And so many things are going well, you don't know which ones to focus on making go better. But the crux of the issue is that it's not clear which choice is the right one. I have a feeling that Mars' presence in the first of the two aspects will help to sort of cut through those illusions. Remember that the Seven of Cups is a card of illusions. But, choice still remains. And for you, there's so much choices to be almost boundless. It's like kind of the paralysis of too many options. Allow Mars to cut a few of those away for you and help make this process a little simpler. For Sagittarius, we have the Ten of Cups. I'm very happy to see this for you, Sagittarius. In an aspect full of, lots of energy, it's nice to see harmony for somebody, for anybody. But I feel like the last few readings I've given for you have been rough, Sagittarius. Not so with the Ten of Cups. Something is coming to show itself to you in a really great, grand way. There's a sense in which, out of the fallout of what's going to happen today and over the next week, you get something you really want. Something that really makes you happy. You genuinely get happiness out of some aspect of what's going to occur in the next few days for you. Make the most of that. For Capricorn, we have the Six of Cups. And I like this card for you, Capricorn, because it speaks to your roots. And we grow from our roots toward the sun. So a lot of this aspect for you, Capricorn, is going to be a reminder of who you really are and what you really want. Something that you may, for whatever reason, have lost sight of in the recent past. And we all get this way from time to time. A job gets in the way, a hobby gets in the way, a mindset gets in the way. But this is a reminder of who and what you really are, Capricorn, and the opportunity to do something with it, to do something about it. Something which you might not otherwise have been afforded. For Aquarius, the Four of Swords. Note the sun in the center of the lamb's forehead. Respite. The Four of Swords is a card that's all about respite, about rest, and a breather, and a break, and a nap, and a good night's sleep. The Four of Swords is those things. And what you're going to be made to see here, Aquarius, is just how good for you taking the time to rest and to collect yourself and heal and recuperate makes you better. How absolutely essential and vital it is to get rest. And it may also teach you something about having to demand that you get it. You know, full speed ahead, damn the torpedoes. Demand that you get your rest. You need it. What this is going to show you is exactly how good it is for you to get it. We have the Five of Cups for Pisces. And a little shadow. The Five of Cups is the, sort of the knowledge that there's no use crying over, hey, look, say hi to the nice people in here. The Five of Cups is the knowledge that there's no use crying over spilled milk. That it can be easy to focus on so much on what you've lost that you don't see what you've gained. Very important lesson when the Tower is in play. Something great, something huge has shifted in your world. Embrace the shift. To quote Dumbledore in Harry Potter, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Or if you like Disney movies better, you can talk about Rafiki. The past is the past. You can either run from it or learn from it. Up to you, Pisces, but I think you can probably guess which of the two I would advise you to do. For Aries, we have the Empress. And I get a really strong vibe of allowing from this card. In the Celestial Tarot, we're represented by the Emperor, the Empress's opposite number, the male, creative and authoritative energy figure. So with the Empress for us, Aries, it's time to to let be what you've done. Remember, like as I've said a couple of times throughout this video, the Hermit Virgo is all with these aspects is about seeing the work that you've already done bear fruit. There isn't anything else, and I as an Aries who thinks of himself as a person of action, I hate to say this as advice for myself and other Aries, but it's true. The time for doing things has passed for a little while. It is time to let things do. You put in the work. See what happens. See what comes of what you've done. Let it be. Sort of survey the landscape. If you look more closely at this card, you see that she's sowing seeds with her right hand, but holding wheat in her left. At some point, at all points throughout the process of growing a plant or any living thing, you do have to take a step back and sort of survey the landscape. See how things are progressing. Let them show you the results. You cannot force the results to come any more quickly or any better than they're already going to by doing more things at this point, Aries. So let them be. Find somewhere else to direct this energy. For Taurus, the Three of Cups. This is a good one. I really like the Three of Cups. Just it's it's the coming together of friends. I mean, like if you take the birds out of it, three wine glasses at sunset sounds like a pretty good time to me. But that might be my Taurus moon talking. But it is. It's the joyous coming together of, it could be friends, but like again, it's something that comes together in a way that makes you feel good. Things are coming together. Now, granted, there's going to be a shift, a major one, even something big is changing. But you've had this major shift of mindset, of personality, of it not needn't necessarily be internal, but I get the feeling that it is, especially with Virgo, that has led you to this place where you see things coming together in a way that you are. It feels good to you. And like, let's be real, Taurus, that's your favorite thing, is for things to feel good to you in whatever relevant sense. Yeah, sense, feel. Astrology puns, yay. For Gemini, we have the Six of Pentacles. Yep, Six of Pentacles. This is a card about sharing, Gemini. And about what you give and when and to whom. You get something great out of some of the sharing that you've done. And those gains may include the material, but they're not limited to that. By the same token, they may include the internal, but they're not limited to that. It may be that a kindness you showed is repaid twice over in terms of, some sort of material abundance. It may be that you learn a lesson about, this person wasn't worth sharing my time, energy, and emotions with. You might get both. You might get neither. But either way, the lesson to be learned here is about sharing itself. And about striking that healthy middle. And about giving to the right places and not the wrong ones. For Cancer, we have strength. I see something new in this card every time I draw it, and this time I see the rose in the lion's mouth. And the way in which you would have to grip that just right so the thorns didn't tear into your mouth. And this is what true strength is. True strength is not just brute force. True strength is about knowing where and when and how to apply the force you are capable of applying, and to what degree. This is a unique position for you to be in, Cancer, because I feel like for at least the first aspect, you get to be Mars. You are as much the lightning striking the tower as you are the tower being struck by the lightning. And what I get the very strong feeling that what you get out of all of this, out of this aspect, and strength being the draw for it, is that you will understand after this exactly how potent your power is, and how much other people respect it when you bring it to bear. At least partially because what you're about to do is going to force them to reckon with the strength that you have. In all of this, Cancer, I would encourage you to remember that softness is not weakness. Last but not least is Leo, and we have the Nine of Swords, the Nightmares card. I mean, even this is a little gruesome and frightening. You would be surprised if you weren't a Leo. You might be surprised to know just how dark parts of people who are ruled by the sun are capable of being, and yet the sun has sunspots. Do not, Leo, let this make you afraid to turn the light inward. In fact, that's exactly what you should do. You should turn that light inward. You should. Generally, if I get a reading that leads to shadow work, it's for everybody. But for you, Leo, I think that's what this is. This is shadow work that you need to do. You need to let some serious daylight into several corners of yourself and really come to terms with what is there. The skeleton in your closet is banging on the inside of the door. And it would do you a lot of good to let a little light in and either A, reveal it to not be nearly as frightening as you thought, or else start to come to terms with what's in there. But you need to do it. And what this aspect is showing you is that you need to do it. You come out so much better on the other side from doing the work, and there will never be a more convenient season. If you waiting for the perfect time to do anything is a bad idea, but especially when it comes to the things that fester in the back of your mind. Don't wait. So, there's something else for everybody. The Fool. Whatever you're facing this week, whatever I've promised you or warned you about or said was coming for you this week, approach it with perfect openness. Come to it clear-headed. Come to it open-eyed and open-minded. You are at the beginning of something grand. We all are. This is the keystone of some really big shift. We're all about to take at least one big step forward, if not a few. This is the start of that. So more than anything else that I've said so far, I counsel you to come at it clear-headed, come at it open-minded. Come at it with open arms. Embrace what is coming. You can't make the night shorter by chasing the sun. But you can make its passage gentler by turning to embrace the moon. That's all for Tarot Tuesday this week. I sincerely hope that you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next week.